Yo, it's me, it's the SCOTT. Getting an early start this morning. So we now go on to the next episode of the Nightmare Room, School Spirit. And this is one of two episodes, which are back-to-back, that feature the same cast in the same roles, but this episode is not mentioned in the next one. And I guess the end of this episode kind of says why. But okay, so first of all, cast check. Alright. Nickelodeon. We have only one from Nickelodeon this time. Jeffrey Licon, whatever. He played Carlos on The Brothers Garcia. For Disney, we also only have one. Michael Galeotta, whatever. He played Nick on Jersey, so that's two cast members from the Jersey on this, next to Jermaine Williams. And others, we have George Ogore II, who played Junior on My Wife and Kids. Keiko Agina, who I believe was on Gilmore Girls. Madeline Zima, who you would know as the little girl. She's all grown up here, but the little girl from the youngest daughter from The Nanny. And James Karen, who I put down because he's the villain of this episode, and I don't know what other things he's from. But so, I write down some notes. Nope, too far. So what's the story? The story is these group of 5 kids are in detention. And they are being taught by Mr. Langley, and he is, he's one of those stern teachers that even, I always thought detention means you just sit there, you do some homework, you read a book, whatever, while you wait for it to get done. I never had detention. Not really. No, I don't think I ever did. But he says, well, you're in a school, you're going to learn, and before you can say anything, the lights go out, the power goes out, there's a storm, whatever. And as he's like, I'll be back. I'm going to go check the power breaker or whatever it's called. One of the students, Dex, played by Jeffrey Licon, he says, Mr. Langley, I just want to say, I was really looking forward to learning something. And that's when he looks at me and goes, oh, you're going to learn something. And, okay, so this is basically a supernatural slasher episode, to be honest. So, the students decide to go explore the school. Well, most of them. Todd, Dex, Alexis, and Janet decide to go explore the school and try to figure out what's going on. Try to leave, I guess, because Langley doesn't come back. That's the name of the teacher, Mr. Langley. And while they're gone, Mr. Langley shows back up and gets Freddy. And it's made clear that each of them do something. From what we can surmise, or we're told, is that Freddy, that's George Ogore Jr.'s character, or second character, his brother picked on Langley when his brother was in school. And that's why he is gone. And then next to go is Dex. Dex and Janet go to they want to find a computer so they can make communication. Because Alexis's phone stops working for some reason because the battery dies, I guess, which I don't think would happen. You would have it charged if she was in school. I don't know. It's all part of the thing anyway. But so Janet and Dex go to the office to try to find a computer. And while there, we get a couple of hints. They find a trophy with Tobias Langley's name on it, which connects him to the debate team. And it's just like in a box or something shoved down somewhere. And also she finds a set of keys, which will come in handy later. And Dex goes into a closet to check on something. The door closes behind him. And Langley appears and says, it's your turn, Dex. And comes after him. And all we hear is a scream. So Janet runs out and gets the other two. And they come in. And we also find out that Dex laughed at Langley when his car was egged. Which maybe Freddy's brother was the one who egged the car? I don't know, but they say that he'd been dead for 5 years. So how old was Dex when this happened? You can't blame him. You can't go after a little kid. I don't know, because they find this out later. So she brings the other two in there, and the door just opens because it wouldn't open before, and he's gone, and they're like, think maybe he got away, and no, because then the copy machine starts printing out 3 left, and then they asked, of course, the important question: how can it be working with the power off? Because the power's off, and they were going after a laptop computer, so laptop. So, while walking down the hallway to try to find their way out, because they can't get out, something catches Karen from the corner of her eye, and she calls Todd back, and they find that a picture of Langley on the memorial wall, and it says he's been dead for like 4 or 5 years. And I guess this is revenge. He's getting revenge for something. Why now? We'll find out. And while this is happening, Langley comes for Alexis. Now, because apparently her father is the reason that the debate team got shut down back in the day. So, we're down to the last 2 characters. And this is where I'm going to have a little bit of criticism in this episode, because up to this point, you know, they've been going and getting these, you know, all the characters have been taken down. And so we get this so this is when they start to realize what's going on. And they get a phone call from Alexis's phone, which ends up in Janet's locker. And it's Langley on the other side and says 2 to go. And then, so they start to try to think of what's going on. And, like something's gonna happen. Something's happening, and he's coming after them, and they gotta figure out what they did. And that's when she starts naming off what happened. Freddie's brother picked on Langley and probably egged his car. Dex laughed when his car got egged. Alexis' father shut down the debate team. And then, so Todd asked Janet what she did. And the only thing she'd come up with is that she was asked by the principal if she wanted to start a new debate team. And she said no, because she didn't think anyone would be interested. Now, first of all, that's a weak excuse to come after someone just because she said no to starting a debate team. Was she the only one that was asked to start a debate team? Because are you going to come after everyone else that said no to starting a debate team? What if she was the only one asked? It just doesn't make any sense to me. What also doesn't make any sense is during this monologue where she reveals why he's coming after her, Todd is taken. He's just gone. When she turns around to talk to him, he's gone. And we never find out what he did to Langley. His connection, nothing. Only thing I can think of is maybe his brother was connected to the Eggings? I don't know. But we never get an explanation. He's just gone. It's like they ran out of time to write the episode. It's like, oh, just take him away. We got to finish off the climax here. So it comes down to Langley versus Karen, and Karen realizes what he wants. To put his trophy, debate team trophy, back in a trophy case. So she runs back to the office. She grabs the keys that were seen and foreshadowed before, and she grabs the trophy, and she standard thing. She opens the thing, puts the trophy in, shuts it. When she puts it in, and it's over. That's what he wanted. That's all he wanted, was to have the trophy back in, a recognition, someone to remember him. His picture's on a freaking wall. We'll get to that too, but yeah. And magically, everyone is back, and they don't remember anything, and that's where the disconnect for the next episode is. And like, You know, thinking, like, how come they don't mention this in the next one? But that's because no one remembers, except for Karen. She's the only one that remembers. Why she doesn't say anything, I don't know. But the next one's a whole different story anyway. But so yeah, here just yeah, and then we get a little bit of an epilogue because they said, says there's a note on the board that says the detention is over, so they leave, and then we get cut to the principal talking to some guy about taking down the memorial pictures to put up like football team or something. So football team or cheerleader pictures or something. And I'm like, okay, so these the football team or something now, because like it shows this. I don't think it was like that before, but it showed Langley's picture. And he's going like this. So something else is gonna happen. But yeah, this is a pretty good episode. A lot, when you have the setting of a movie be during a storm, you're pretty much guaranteed it's going to be, at least a decent story. And it works for this. The thunderstorm outside, the lightning going, thunder, stuff like that. Casting James Karen as Mr. Langley. He is probably the best villain in the show so far. I think when you compare other ones like Tippi Hedren or she wasn't really a villain though, but just the Howler ghosts, especially that evil house, it just didn't really stack up that much. I think the only other ones that didn't really stack up is Buddy from the Doll episode, and perhaps the evil creations created by the lies in Tangled Web. You're thinking, oh, well, what about David Carradine? David Carradine wasn't necessarily a villain in the episode. He was just trying to teach Josh a lesson. Everything that Josh created came after him. They were the villains. They were his antagonists, the ones, against him. But here, Mr. Langley is a great villain, and the actor does great with the character, and it's just awesome. And like I said, we're at this pattern. And I think it's going to stop because I think the full moon one is a decent episode too. But we got this pattern. Okay, we got this pattern. We got the first episode, Second episode, the Buddy one, I think. Great. Next episode, the Howler, Episode after that, the the Tangled Web, great. We got Fear Games, and we got this one, which is pretty good. And I think the next one with the same cast, because it's the same cast, I think it's still pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna try to think. Hold on, let me write another. We go down. I just use this page. This is the So far, what we got episode 1 was, what's it called? Don't Forget Me. Don't Forget Me. And that was I'll put meh. And we had Scareful What You Wish For. That was great. Then we had The Howler. It was meh. Then we had Tangled Web. It was great. We had Fear Games. It was meh. And then we had School Spirit. And it was great. So far, we have meh, great, meh, great, meh, great. So we'll see what the next one is. Also, I want to mention that this is one of the few episodes I had on a VHS tape. And this is Mysterious, the episode about a ghost. Tape disappeared. Because my VCR sucked at the time, and it would, like, I used to have to watch stuff in my sister's. Oh, my TV sucked. That's what it was. My TV went out because I had an old shit TV at the time until I got a new one. I used to have to watch. I don't remember, but I used to have to watch VHS tapes in my sister's room at the time. I think I ended up getting a new TV and a DVD player and stuff, but I used to have to watch VHS and stuff in there, and I think I left the tape in there, and she must have recorded over it with something. But yeah, I remember watching this in that room, in her room, which then became my brother's room at one point. But yeah, the last episode I'm going to review, My Name is Evil, is the one I've watched the most. And we'll get that one when it comes. But yeah, so this one has a little bit of... I was kind of interested in watching this one again. Yeah, it's still pretty good. So what are your thoughts on this episode? Leave them in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.